next thing we want to look at is capping an open area, such as a cavity, like an eye socket, mouth cavity, or in this case, maybe these little eyelets here. So let me zoom in. I'll make a selection. Again, I'll grow that. And hit the delete key to delete those. I'll reduce my brush size with the left bracket key and then select an open edge. And I'll hit my hotkey I have saved for edge loop. With that selected, we can use the transform tool to scale this down. But before I do that, I'm going to hit the escape key. I typically will use the split rings tool to add an anchor edge loop, and also maybe just to give myself a little bit more geometry after I make that extrusion. So go back to the select tool here, select your edge, hit my hotkey, transform tool, use 2 main axis to make it locally oriented, and I can move it down, scale it in, hit escape, use the cap tool to cap that off. Okay, and now I can do a couple different things. I can use split rings. If auto snap is turned on, it will snap as I do that. So let me turn that on. Okay, or use slide edges. And you'll notice by default you're just selecting one edge. You can go up here and choose edge loops, but I like to use the control key, which will make a loop selection. The same thing applies if you want to delete edges. Hold the control key and it will delete the entire loop if you want. Go back to slide edges here. And so you can slide that in. And 3D Coat will keep it snapped as you slide it. It's very handy. And so this is a really good way of basically extruding, this loop inward. Hold the control key. And do a little bit here. Hold control key. If it's a flatter area, it tends to work a little bit better. Once more, you can just select that edge, hotkey, vertices, relax, hit the escape key. Let's try split rings. A few more times. And I think we're pretty much good to go. So go back to select the vertex there, and just grow this selection. And go to vertices mode here, and just relax all of that. So you can just choose whichever way works best for you, either using the brush tool and smoothing, or just making a selection like this. So I hit escape. Okay, so one last thing we want to look at is if you're using a 3D connection device, sometimes when you're working very close up in certain areas, it's very easy for even a slight nudge of your puck to throw you out of focus. But you can always quickly bring it back by hitting the pin button. Usually will get you right back to where your pin location was last. So we'll do it again. You can hit the Shift Z keyboard combination, which is the same thing. And there you go. Or you could choose all. So I hope you find these tips helpful as you're working in 3D Coat's Retopo workspace, and we'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.